don't get a corporate career, don't get a salary job, be an entrepreneur, own your own business, work for yourself. Now, in a lot of ways, I think that mindset's good. I think that it's something that, that's kind of like a reaction to this idea that that's like what you're supposed to do. You go to college and then you get a job and you work that job for just about, forever maybe. And I think my generation in particular, um, we're being fed a lot of stuff that whole paradigm is just stupid. And in a lot of ways I do think it's stupid, right? I think that if you wake up, go work a, decent salary job, go home, watch a movie, jerk off and go to bed and repeat that. That's a terrible existence, right? But I still think under some contexts it's still incredibly valuable and people shouldn't crap on it all the time. And I'll tell you why. I think that for somebody, first off, I do think there is value in stability, right? Working a job where I more or less work for myself as like a door-to-door salesman essentially taught me how much that something like stability and a consistent income might actually be valuable for me. And I can tell you why for me specifically. The reason that it is valuable is because, frankly, the thing that I wake up and empty my tank doing is my body. It's lifting weights. It's lacrosse. Like, that's what wakes up and drives me, right? That's what I wake up and am driven by. So then when I would get to knocking doors, sometimes it's like there wasn't much left. So for somebody whose other pursuit, real passion, isn't their job, maybe they need something that they can kind of more do and be on autopilot for, right? That's a way I've felt, or a sentiment that I've had after working a job, that I need to be the main driver in what I'm doing. The other thing is that what if you're in a position where you already have significant debt? I know some people might say that, like, the college machine, that's kind of what it's driven to do. I don't disagree. But listen, I've got a bunch of student debt that I have accrued, and I don't think it's fair to my future self or my family who've my mother in particular has taken these loans, some loans out for me, and I will pay them, or at least the vast portion of them, but it's not fair to me to ask her to continually help me get by. I want to be as self-sustainable as I can, or self-sustaining, and part of that is being able to pay those loans and eventually pay them off in full. Likewise, my father too has helped me tremendously, and I don't want to take that for granted by going and taking more risk, right? So those are a couple reasons why, with regards to like a full-time, or I guess it'd be three, but like a full-time salary job, I think for a medium-term plan, short to medium-term, not short, but more like 3 to 5 years, I don't see why it's a terrible idea. And the other thing too is, for like the life that I imagine myself doing while I have a full-time job is going to be like, hey, I wake up, I go to the gym, I'm at work for 8 to 9 hours, I come home, probably do either work on a side business of sorts, whether that be potentially for me something like a personal training company, or like a fitness coaching company, and then say, then I work on maybe jujitsu, or go to boxing or something, and then I go to bed, right? And I repeat that. But the whole point is that I'm never going to allow myself to be working a job that I don't feel like is to my potential of what I can accomplish, but then just do nothing to still try and reach for that next thing. I'm always, whatever I'm doing, going to be reaching for the next thing. Now, let's say, I work for a company and then I'm like eventually a, partner in a really big company or a CEO. I mean, for me, that's kind of where I want to be. Will I be working on a side business then? Probably not. Maybe, right? But I'm never going to allow myself, and I'll say this as a promise to my future self's never watching this, but I'm never just going to allow myself to go to work, sit around after work because I'm tired, and then go to the bar Friday, Saturday because that's what I want to do, and repeat that. That life seems terrible, and I'm confident I will be able to not do that because the life I already live, I'm in college and I don't feel any overarching desire to do that stuff. So yeah. But I guess the main theme of this video for those that have watched it this far is just like, stop. Like there's a lot of advice out there. There's a lot of people giving advice out there. Myself in this case, but there's always like the thing that people are giving advice about, or like the hot take that's the opposite of what everyone does, which would be, go start your e-commerce business or whatever. And if that works for you, great. But there's the thing and then the hot take about why the thing's bad. I think we're at a point with a lot of this, like stuff with regards to your career, just life in general, the whole self-help space, where it's like people are, like everybody's trying to be a Sigma, you know what I'm saying? Everybody wants to move out when they're 18 and go, live alone and rip all their family ties. Everybody wants to be Giga Chad and have 4 girlfriends. Like everybody, there are people who are like my age, early 20s, right? And it's like, I'm not a millionaire yet and driving a supercar, man. There's the thing, the reaction to the thing. We need to start looking more in this middle area, I feel like, as to where that's probably the truth. And with regards to working a full-time salary career, I think that truth is that with a certain mindset and under some contexts, for some people, it is a very great way to generate a pretty respectable income to, at least as a starting point, to build your life and get your feet on the ground and go from there. So at least that's how I feel. Maybe I'm just a brainwashed normie cog in the machine, and I've drank the Kool-Aid and will just be another worker bee for the rest of my life. God willing, I'm not, and I don't think I will be. But at the end of the day, I think there is some value in it, and I don't think people's reaction to the idea that you should work that should be like, oh man, you've just given up on life. Like that's crazy to me. So that's my video. You have a great day.